Hey guys, how's it going? Well, um, good news and bad news. I just completed yesterday my first run. Sorry I didn't video it for you guys, but I was just trying to get my feet wet and trying to get the hang of all the other procedures and processes that I got to do that I'm not accustomed to. I told you I used to do this, but of course I didn't have all these other extra, hoops to jump through, so to speak. So, just to give you a recap, on the second day we had a big long safety course. You're required to take a safety course on a yearly basis, so we took that on the second day of orientation. After that, in the afternoon, we had to make sure all our paperwork was basically straight. Basically, all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. At the end of the day, I had a issue with my registration because it's under my name and my wife's name. I had to get a power of attorney, so I got that done, no problem. And now, the following day, I took off and did a real quick 200-mile run up to Wisconsin. So had another guy that joined me. We were both going to the exact same location. Coincidentally, this guy's name's Paul. He is from Texas also. He's from like the Dallas area, and we kind of just tagged along together, which was a good thing. We kind of were able to learn from each other. He's never pulled trailers, and I've never been a commercial, quote unquote, a professional commercial driver. So he was helping me out with the logs. I know I told you earlier that it was easy, logging for 101 for dummies. I had to take a dumb moment because I had a couple of times where I was just like, wow. I was kind of a little lost, but luckily for me, Paul was there. He kind of told me, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. And it was just a couple of things that I just misunderstood about how to make sure that you're properly, your status is properly set up. So I got that straightened out. We did that run. I made a little money just to help me out, and got back. Now I'm here today on my second run, which is going to go to Rhode Island. So I've got to go east, and it's going to be 840 miles. I should be there in a couple of days, but I was going to go hook up, and before we're allowed to hook up, we're supposed to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and inspect the unit. So what I'm going to do real quick is go show you guys my problem. And I'm in the truck because it's raining, it's cloudy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's kind of that nasty weather stuff that's out here. So just so you can see, this is the trailer I'm taking. It's a little small unit, nothing to get excited about, but I like them because they're light, not a lot of weight, and that means I'll be able to make good money and maintain some good economy. But if you go through it, we can see here the unit. I'm going to walk around real quick. I was supposed to go through it with a fine-tooth comb before I even hook up to it. Well, here's the problem. It's pretty easy, but if you see down there, and I don't know if you can see it, the tire's flat. The reason why, if you see there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there it is. There's a screw. See that screw up there in the top corner? So, it kind of put me in a little bit of a frustrated situation, and I had to kind of figure my way around stuff as far as who to call, when to call, and get that squared away, because let me get back in here and put myself back up. Because guys, well, you're not supposed to tag onto it. If you find anything wrong with this unit, you're supposed to call, and then they basically walk you through it. Well, it's Saturday, it's after hours, nobody's in the office except one or two people that are just handling basic functions of dispatching and whatnot. Well, I got a little frustrated, but I had to, count to 10, calm down. And finally got a hold of the right person, and they were able to point me in the right direction. I got a tire service. I don't have a jack, I don't have air, so it's not like I can just air up the tire and go somewhere and get it changed. It's raining. You notice the area the trailer sits in, it's grassy. It's starting to get a little muddy, so I'll do what I gotta do, but I haven't even left the yard. I'm not even on the road. This is obviously something that happened before I was around, and I didn't have anything to do with it. So I'm kind of wanting them to kind of take care of it, which they are. They're going to go ahead and send a driver, tire service place after hours. They're going to come out here and repair it, but it's just downtime, sitting around here waiting. Got to wait for this guy to come around, change a tire, and then get my way and get back on the road to Rhode Island. I don't know if I even talked to you guys a little bit. I was going to try to do this, but my editing software is not working the way I want it to. But so far, all my expenses up until the point of starting were somewhere around the neighborhood of about $1,400. That's fuel to come up here. That's all the inspections, the physical, the missing parts I had for the unit back there for my distribution hitch, some of the missing tools I didn't have, and it just all depends on your circumstances that you can either spend that much or spend a lot more. I met a couple, as a matter of fact. I think it was that couple I spoke to you guys about a couple of days ago that they were talking in during the course of the orientation. It's a husband and wife team that used to be truckers. Well, I found out, man, they traded in their cars to buy 1-ton trucks. She's got one and he's got one, and they said they blew through down payments and everything they got set up. And you can run into this kind of money. They said they spent about $20,000. Of course, this is for 2 drivers. Down payment, setting the trucks up. One of the trucks is a flatbed, so it's a dually, and they bought it without any. It doesn't have anything in the back, and they had to buy a. You have to buy a flatbed to put on top of it, And they said they bought that. The hitch, all the hitch equipment they need, got to buy all that. So they spent a pretty penny. I was like, dang, you could spend that much. But it sounds to me like also that maybe they paid a little too much, because they were telling me that they paid like $5,000 for the hitch. That I know what it is. It's a brand called B&W, and you basically have to put this hitch under the bed, right? And that's how you set it all up. And then on the bed they drill a hole, and then you got a hole there where you put your fifth wheel hitch or your gooseneck hitch, and that's something that I know something like that can cost some good money, but $5,000, I thought that was a little excessive. So you need to shop around, obviously, to save some money. I know in Houston I could get it probably for about half of that. You got to put that piece that goes under the bed, and then you buy your hitch on top. I know you probably could spend about $2,500, but $5,000, man, I was like, and I thought she said one truck, and since the other one's a flatbed, yeah, you wouldn't put that kind of a system on the other truck, because it's already built into the bed they bought. But it all depends, guys. Like I told you, if you look around to save money, you go to Craigslist, places like that, you can save some money. But you're still going to spend a little bit. In my case, I spent, like I said, $1,400 before I could get myself on the road. And, just all the little details I had to get, all the stuff. I had to buy a printer, had to get a binder. I got this binder right here where I hold all my paperwork, which you need to have in case you get pulled over, or you go in through a weigh station, they pull you over and say, hey, you bring your paperwork. This is what you do. So talk to you in a minute, guys.